Hello, everybody out there in Twitch land. This is Carlos A.S. Lysing. I'm pleased to introduce today's special event, depending on where you are in the world, I suppose today or tonight. This is an episode of the caslHawk Chronicles that I'm putting on as the first event of the second day of Changeling-Con. Um, as you'll see if you look around the screen, I have three players today, and I'd like to introduce all of them one by one. Over there at the bottom of the screen, to our left-hand side, you'll see our good friend Natasha, who will be playing Yarrow today. How you doing, Natasha?
Hello, thanks for having me here.
Oh, thank you so much. Over there in the middle, there is who will be playing Lady Aricia, the mighty Amanda Makepeace. How you doing, Amanda?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Awesome, awesome. And over there on the right-hand side, playing Penny Merriweather, we have my good friend Janka. Janka, hello, how you doing?
Hi, I'm doing superb. Super excited to be here.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. As I said, this whole event, special event, is for the benefit of Changeling Con. For those of you who are out there who are just watching my show right now, who are my usual viewers, let me explain to you for a little bit what this is about. Changeling Con is for a group of artists called the Changeling Artist Collective. They're very, very talented people spread out all throughout the world. And what they've decided to do is create a convention digitally because convention season was wiped out everywhere across the world because of obviously the pandemic situation. So we've decided I wanted to be a part of that because I love my changelings and some of my dearest friends, and I just wanted to support these guys as best as I could. Um, but one by one, I want to tell you a little bit about each of my players right over here, besides who they're going to be playing. We're going to start over here on our left with Natasha. Natasha, tell us a little bit about your art and where people can find you.
So I'm an artist and illustrator. I'm based in Edinburgh, Scotland. I work mainly in book illustration. I focus on fantasy art, a lot of folklore, mythology. I work mainly in watercolor. My latest book is A Compendium of Witches. And as for links and stuff, I see that everything is on screen. So if you just, visit my website, then you can find all the links to all the social medias there.
Natasha, did you notice something about your name at the top? I I figured it out.
Oh, you did? Amazing.
I made
Yes.
my own letters.
Those accents are not easy. So
I made them up myself. So, um, and over there, we're going to go with our next artist. This is Amanda Makepeace. Amanda, you knew I had to use this Raven picture over here. It's not my favorite Raven you've ever done, but you know my affection for Corvid. So tell us a little bit about your art and where people can find you.
Yes, I am a fantasy and science fiction illustrator. I work in both digital and traditional mediums. So it's a little bit of everything. I actually had my start in fine art before I moved into illustration. So that's why there's kind of quite a variety if you go to my website, and it's down there at the bottom, amandamakepeace.com. And it has all the links, and it especially has a link to my Patreon, which I started back in January. So I hope you'll check that out.
I am a member of Amanda's Patreon, and it's worth every penny. I just throwing that out there for those of you who have a little extra money to throw around. And finally, over here on our right, we have my new good friend, Janka. Janka, I've done you a huge disservice with my graphic. Breaking news to me, Janka's stuff is mostly on Instagram. I put up her Facebook link because I had the hardest time finding it because I'm delinquent apparently. So could you tell us a
That's
little bit about your artwork and where people can
yeah,
find you?
sure. So I'm a self-proclaimed expert on Slavic mythological creatures. So my art is mostly concentrated on those, and I also do illustrations for Polish RPG projects, mostly for kids, working both traditionally and digitally. And you can find me on Instagram at Instagram/Saturday_arts.
I will be sure to put up the actual link here on my Facebook and on casl.com. All right, we're going to go back to our players. I have some players here that are going to be they're going to have immediate commitments right after this. So we're going to go right to our game without any further ado. Ladies, as you guys know, we're playing in the World of Greyhawk today. I'm going to start over from our left hand. So actually, you know what? I'd like you to introduce your own characters. Natasha, why don't you start and tell me who you're going to be playing today? Your race, class.
Yeah, I'm playing Yarrow. She's an old elven woman. She's a cleric of the Wild Mother. When you look at her, you see this very old woman with gray hair braided around her head. She's not very tall, but she has a very sturdy build for an elf and very calloused hands that speak of a lifetime of manual work. She has deep frown lines on her forehead, a lot of wrinkles, and she's wearing a thick woolen brown robe with worn leather boots.
Okay, Amanda, why don't you tell us about your character?
All right, I'm playing Lady Arisa. She is a gray elf, an enchantress. She's had quite a bit of strife, I guess you would call it, with her family. Differences of opinion on her path in life, to put it that way. She's an interesting character. She thinks for herself. She doesn't want to follow the herd, and she kind of sees her family as the herd. They've all done the same thing, and she wants to kind of break out of that mold.
Perfect. And why don't you tell us about your character, Janka?
Gladly. I'll be playing Penny Merriweather today. Penny is a gnome illusionist, and she's been living her entire life in the free city of Greyhawk with her family, clan, a lot of gnomes sitting in this small apartment. But they do have a garden, and in the garden there is a glass house that Penny calls the House of Illusions, because that is where she performs her magic tricks and also grows vegetables.
All right, so that's everybody's introduction. If you could think of a more diverse group of players and characters, you got me on that one. Without any further ado, we're going to begin our game. I'm going to start with Janka, actually. When you woke up this morning, it was kind of a very busy day around the Merriweather household. A lot of to's and fro's, comings and goings. As you know, your father is quite infirm right now after an accident, and your brother is also unable really to care for himself. So it really falls to you and your mother to bring home most of the money. You had a long night out at the Green Dragon Inn the other day where you performed to make some coin for the family. And your brother needed help all morning long after that. So you have another shift at the Green Dragon today, but it was just so difficult for you that you had to catch some sleep before going to work. The very first thing that you woke up to after sleeping in the greenhouse, that is there's a little tap on your shoulder. Penny?
Just one more minute. Just one more minute,
Penny,
Mommy.
Sissy, you gotta get up.
No,
Sissy, come on,
saving
please.
a dragon from the princess.
It's so hard already to wake you up when you're asleep, please.
Penny slowly opens one of her eyes, and
it's your little sister, Periwinkle. Periwinkle looks at you, and the very first thing that she does is she has her cat in her hand, her kitten. And she takes her cat and she shoves it right in your face, basically, and says, Princess can't meow. So I think she's sick.
Penny pulls away the cat from her face, kind of looks at it from one side and then the other. What do you mean?
The cat opens its mouth and no sound comes out. Looks like she's got a sore throat to you. Something the cat is saying. And to you, it's one of those things that it's like, great, it's going to cost money.
Cool. That's good news for the morning. Okay. This is what we'll do. We're going to get up. That is, I'm going to get up, and we're going to take Princess Pansy to see a doctor.
Oh, okay. Okay, but you got to go to work. It's almost time.
What do you mean it's almost time? You were supposed
outside.
to wake me up
She
earlier.
points outside through the glass house wall, and it's dark already. She said, I woke you up with 5 minutes before your shift.
Okay, that's usually enough time. Fine. So...
Can I come, maybe, and watch you?
Only if you promise to stay away from the milk that Ricard pushes around his inn. It's kind of fishy.
I promise. I'll be good.
Okay, so where is my hat?
She has everything in a little pile for you. All your clothes there. She goes, do you think I could bring Prince Peony? I brought the wheelbarrow. She refers to the watermelon as Prince Peony.
No, it would take
him.
What?
What if somebody steals him? I mean, he's helpless.
It's too big to be stolen. We couldn't push it out the door last night, remember? We tried, and we tried.
You worked so hard on it, and it might be enough money, you know, that I don't know. Maybe we could actually, like, I don't know, eat things, nice things.
Okay, let me take care of this. I would like to cast a spell on the watermelon, the invisibility spell.
Okay, you cast an invisibility spell on the watermelon.
I have to protect the watermelon.
Okay, the watermelon disappears.
Cool.
Your little sister's just in awe, enwrapped at it. She's reaching out. You can hear her kind of tap the watermelon, but no, obviously it's not there. As you begin to get ready for work, I'm going to move over to Yarrow. Yarrow, you have, for the time being, since you've been in the free city of Greyhawk, have had a small flat inside the Green Dragon Inn. It's a pretty reputable establishment, but something very unusual has been happening in the last couple days that's kind of bothered you. Because of your connection with nature, you have noticed ivy that is growing outside onto the walls of the Green Dragon Inn, but it looks like you see things at a different level than most humans and most elves even do, where you're actually able to look into the ivy and you can almost see its like root structure, but it's all dead black. So you've been thinking about maybe perhaps going out today and doing some investigation on it. It seems to you that all the black root goes straight down into the ground beneath the free city. You've woken up. You're in your room at the Green Dragon Inn. Tell me what you'd like to do.
I'd like to go down outside the inn and just see if I notice this weird phenomenon spreading to other things other than the ivy.
You are walking down the stairs and walking through the bar. The bar is starting to fill up a little bit, actually. A lot of patrons starting to come in. They have this illusionist that shows up this gnome that shows up every 3 days or so and puts on a little light show in there. It's kind of annoying because there's a lot of noise in the bar at that point in time. And
I don't really like noise. I'm not used to noise.
Right. So you walk outside and you're looking around the front of the building. Unfortunately, because the city is as it is, there's not a whole lot of plant life that grows just randomly here. However, all of this ivy, every single bit of it seems to have that blackened characteristic inside of it. It looks healthy externally, but there's something not right about it.
Can I feel anything else in terms of animal life, like birds. Do I hear birds around?
Yeah, actually, I need you to roll me a 20-sided dice, please.
That's a 7.
Okay. Actually, in first edition, for your checks and things, that's actually good. You want to go low. You notice that with you've had very sharp hearing, being an elf. You notice that you see birds in the air. You see dogs occasionally. Um, you don't hear cats, even though you know that there are some feral or some stray cats around here. You don't hear any of them. Very unusual. While you're outside, we're going to move over to Lady Arisa. Lady Arisa, you are also at the Green Dragon Inn. You have a flat in there. You're living next to an older elvish woman. She has not really introduced herself to you. She seems like she's a little crusty, maybe. Like she's not really all that friendly. But you're still trying to find your way here. What you wake up to is first thing in the morning, or first thing really in the evening for you, you caught yourself a small cat nap. Your spell book is glowing and kind of pulsing. Now, that's not unusual for you because you and your sister communicate through a secret page at the back of your spell book where you write down something and it comes back to you. So it's kind of pulsing and vibrating your spell book, almost like a cell phone that's got somebody on the line for it.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I notice that pulsing, and I'm going to definitely go and open the book and see if she's left a message for me.
Yeah, you see, there's a message in there. It says, "Are you still in the Free City?"
Okay, I'm going to respond with yes. Why?
The hunt is on.
Oh.
You know who's going down there right now. The 6 horsemen, and he's trying to find you. Again.
Oh.
After ellipsis, again.
Great. All right, I respond, thank you for the heads up. I will take care of it.
Okay. A little signature at the bottom. Your sister just signs it, puts a little heart around it.
Okay.
Quiet in the room now. You hear through the floor a little bit of milling around. Much like I told Yarrow, there is a performer that comes every 2 or 3 days and attracts quite a bit of rabble down there. It gets kind of noisy, but puts on a pretty decent light show.
Okay, so before I go downstairs, can I hear anything out of the ordinary?
No,
or does it just sound like a typical day?
Yeah, it just sounds like a typical day. The night is encroaching on the day right now as we speak. Night birds outside your window. You hear some people arguing out on the street over the price of cara fruit. You hear somebody that sounds like they're tuning up an instrument down in the first floor.
Okay,
yelling for some ale.
I'm going to take a quick glance out the window, just to make sure nothing looks amiss after the news from my sister.
Well, you look outside the window and you almost stick your head directly into that old woman that I mentioned was your neighbor. The old woman is outside. She's looking through the ivy on the outside of the walls. Yarrow, you hear the window open up, and it's your neighbor in the inn. Now, you've seen this neighbor a few times, and I'll tell you what you know about her. The neighbor seems to be one of those rare, unusual fae that may actually be one of the true fae that descends from the ancient ancestors of the fae. She seems very timeless and very graceful, which is you. And she seems like exactly the kind of person you would normally hate because they are very pretentious. But she seems to be pretty down to earth. At least she hasn't been a bad neighbor so far. But Reese, you see this old woman that's looking through the ivy. Yarrow, you look up and you happen to see this elf that's up there looking down at you. Please go ahead and exchange whatever you'd like to do.
Oh, hello down there. What are you doing?
I'm looking at this ivy. It doesn't seem to be in the best condition. Something weird is happening to it. Have you been living here for a long time? Have you noticed anything strange?
I haven't been here very long. Why don't I come down and take a look?
Lady Aricia, you walk downstairs and begin. You kind of mill through the gathering crowd. Penny, you are coming to the front door eventually. You're almost late for your ship, but you manage to get on time. You push through the front door, your little sister in tow. It might not have been a great idea to come here with Periwinkle because she's pretty small and could get very easily lost in the crowd. She's got a little a blanket that she's wrapped up the princess in, and her little kitten. The Green Dragon is not a super rowdy kind of bar where they where the people there are always itching for a fight, which is good in this case. So they actually they see the little gnomish girl and they give her a little bit of a clear berth. Hey, out of the way, kid! There's a little kid coming. Act like you know. You hear one of the warriors grumble. He said, "Oh, sorry." So they kind of let you up towards the stage. Penny, as you get up to the stage, you are standing there getting ready. There's a person who accompanies your light show with a lute, and he looks over and he kind of nods at the window. He goes, "You know those two freaks?"
Firstly, I put my hat with the gigantic feather on my sister's head so that she's harder to miss.
She looks super excited. She loves your hat.
I know, it's the best hat in the universe. And now I will look towards the window to check out the two freaks.
I'm only saying this because, and this guy, you don't even know his name, all right? But he's done everything there ever is to do. He's had every job there ever was, and he was the best at it, okay? And he's always bragging to you about different stuff. I only say that because back in my days when I was an assassin, because that's exactly where I would have stood over there if I wanted a clear shot at you. Maybe they're trying to ruin the inn or something like that, but, by taking you out. You ever thought of that?
That's smart thinking, my friend. We must not have it. People demand entertainment, and we have to provide. Come on, Perry.
Of course we do. Of course they do. But they look up at you. They look funny. You better be ready.
I'll be so ready.
In this case, I will take the hat away from my sister's head, just in case the assassins...
She looks up at the guy with the lute and goes, "My kitty can't meow."
No, it doesn't. What? That's the problem. We'll figure it out.
I'm taking the hat, and I will put it on the lute guy's head, so that if the assassins have this only one thing that they know about me, they will kill the guy and not us.
Okay, so you do that. You had to put it on his head. Outside, meanwhile, Aricia, you're looking at this ivy with Yarrow. To you, it looks like normal ivy. But Yarrow, the way she looks at it, looks like the way you've seen blind people look at things, where they almost seem to be looking at things with a sense that you don't have. The way she traces each bit of vein on the ivy and just kind of looks at it, sniffs it. You can tell that she has some kind of deeper connection to nature than even you, who are a true Fae, do. Mm-hmm. Inside, you can start to hear music beginning to play.
Mm-hmm. So, I turn to Yarrow. I don't see anything really wrong with this ivy. What is it that you sense?
Feels like almost as if its insides are hollow and rotten and dark. There is something wrong with it. Can I make like an investigation on the ground to see if it spreads?
Also, you, Arisa, please roll me a 20-sided.
Okay.
That was a 13.
Okay, Yarrow, the soil seems extremely healthy, actually. The root system, what'd you roll?
I rolled a 3.
That's perfect, actually. Yarrow, the soil is very healthy. This ivy has been here for decades. It is recent what has happened to it, and it happened rather suddenly. You can tell because it's normally if something would have attacked it like this, the leaves would have been the first thing to go. It's attacking it, whatever it is, it's attacking it from the inside out. It's almost like it's sucking the life out of it. Arisa, there's a pair of cats that are next to you down the side of the building. They're kind of in the shrubbery there, and they look like they're getting ready to fight. And they're both rearing up. Their hair is all back. Their backs are arched, and they're hissing at each other absolutely soundlessly. There is no sound coming from them whatsoever. It's like someone has cast a silence spell on them.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yarrow, you're standing there looking at the leaves, and you kind of catch Arisa's eye as she's looking down there, and you see the same thing that she does. Or the lack of hearing something.
Yeah. So the first thing, I have a question. Am I able to sense when magic has been used?
Yes, you can, actually.
Okay. I thought I might.
There is not an ambient sense of magic here right now. There is whatever is attacking this ivy is clearly magical to you. But the biggest source of magic that you sense is inside the bar. You kind of look through the window when your eyes following the magic, and these colorful lights are spraying through the glass outside into the night.
Interesting. Is this something that others can see?
Yeah, that's something that others can see. That one is obviously some kind of illusion magic.
Okay, yeah, maybe part of the performance inside.
Yeah, the lute player is playing. You hear people singing along. You hear... it seems like a pretty merry mood inside of the inn.
Right, okay. All right.
I think I'm going to get up from the ground and ask Arisia if she wants to come in and have a drink with me.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that. I agree with you. I think something is going on, but I'm not quite sure what.
The cats, the ivy.
Yeah,
something is weird.
Let's go have a drink and we'll ponder it some more.
Okay, the two of you walk back into the bar. The very first thing you see the sea of people that are in there, people singing, nodding their heads. It sort of almost looks like an English football club where everybody's kind of has some, or at least a peaceful one, where everyone has got some kind of camaraderie going. They're singing, and everybody's kind of having a good time, more or less. The barmaid that's back there looks at the two of you, smiles, has to raise her voice to be heard over the throng of you. What can I get you, ladies?
I'm going to say the strongest herbal liquor that they have.
Ooh. I like the sound of that. That sounds good to me, too.
Oh, wow. She turns around, looks, she says, how about, I've got something for you. She goes, it's a little strong, though. I'm warning you. Like, really strong.
We can handle it.
Your funeral. She turns around, comes up. Wow, you've got a really pretty accent, lady. Where are you from? She's pouring out of this big decanter. Penny, you see these two assassins that are in the bar now. They're getting a drink.
Okay.
They're getting a drink from that bottle that the barmaid told you one time, never touch.
Oh, great.
Okay, in this case, someone should save these assassins. They don't know what's coming for them.
Okay.
I finish up the song. I mean, the lute guy finishes up the song.
Finishes up the song.
I jump.
Yes, I need to save the assassins from being assassinated by the nasty drink.
You. It's a nods. Have fun, dude. Entertainment's on break right now. We'll be back in 5. So you walk over to the bar.
Yes. Excuse me, assassin ladies.
And you see this little gnome with golden hair, with a dandelion-shaped golden hair, wearing colorful clothing, holding the hand of a littler still gnome with long golden locks. I'm so sorry. And the little girl is holding her kitten.
Excuse me, assassin ladies, you shouldn't be drinking that.
Assassin ladies?
Slides over to the 2 mugs in front of you. You're going to try to kill my sister, aren't you?
What makes you think we are assassins?
That guy said you are.
I point to the loot man.
He looks at you. You, Yarrow, and Arisa.
We are not assassins.
Okay. Why were you looking around the window like that in this case? What were you looking for if you weren't trying to assassinate us all,
As she's talking to you, Yarrow, you feel a little kind of a tug on your robes. And it's the little gnome. And she says in the most adorable, broken Elvish you can possibly imagine, "Excuse me, ma'am?"
Yes?
She points at your holy symbol. "I don't know what that is, but are you a doctor?"
Something like that, yes.
"My kitty lost her voice." She puts up this little black cat up in your face. as far as she can reach.
Okay, I take the cat.
Yeah,
and I look at it. Is there anything wrong with it?
She looks at the cat as you pick it up. She's like, "Princess Pansy, be nice to her. Princess Pansy, sometimes she pees."
Okay, I've dealt with worse. I'm gonna look at the cat and see if I can figure out.
Penny, she's a doctor. She's not a killer.
Okay, what were you looking for next to the window, Lady Doctor?
I was looking at the ivy outside. I noticed that there's something wrong with it.
The cat, by the way, to you looks perfectly healthy. There's nothing wrong with it.
But I kind of make eye contact with Yarrow though, because we've both seen the cats that were in the alley
Arisa,
making no
20,
sound.
Please.
Okay. A 10.
There is a sense of connection to you between the cat and the ivy. Like some kind of resonant magic. Mm-hmm. Whatever's affecting the ivy is also affecting the cat.
Interesting.
Is she gonna be okay?
Well, we don't know yet, but we are going to look into it. We noticed that some other cats.
You give her medicine.
I have to figure out what's wrong with it first.
That'll be 2 silver.
I put down the coins.
You know they're not going to drink themselves. She kind of sits back and looks at the two of you.
You said it's poison.
Penny, you want? It's not poison. It's just really strong. I told
you said to never touch it.
You're this high. You even sniff the cork of this stuff, and I'm going to have to carry you home.
I'm going to take a sip.
It is pretty strong, but it is herbal, as she said. You've had this before. Okay. It is pine melon wine.
Okay.
It is a wine that is made from a pineapple a watermelon that is kind of like a pineapple, a hybrid between the two. It's actually pretty sweet, but this is very, very strong. Arisa, you're going to drink as well?
Yes, I am. Now that I've seen Yarrow take a sip, and
this will put hair on your head for sure. Yeah, Penny, it smells. It almost knocks you over just from where you're standing, and you can't even reach the top of the bar. So
I have a question for Penny. Penny, have you noticed any strange visitors to the bar in the last week?
Penny, roll me a 20.
Yes, sir. That's a 6.
Yes, as a matter of fact, there have been 3 guys that walk around in the same uniform all the time. It's a blue uniform over chainmail. They all have swords and bows. They're sheathed, and they're peace knotted, but they all have them. And they always are walking around asking questions about looking for nature priests. They're always like, "You know any nature priests? If you do, we've got a really good job for you." They never say what they're there for.
Okay.
Exactly what their job is.
Okay. But nothing kind of suspicious. Nothing.
Actually,
I point at you to kind of lower yourself down to my level. And once you do, I whisper in your ear, Ricard hasn't been accepting visitors to the rooms outside. You cannot enter the second floor.
Oh. Interesting. Okay, thank you.
Did I hear you talking about the boss, Penny? You hear
No.
the barmaid kind of leans over so she can kind of see you straight down. Did I just hear you say something about the boss?
No, and I look at her with my big, blue, innocent eyes.
Oh, okay. Hard to hear in this place, she says. Leans back.
I know.
Can I get you to another one?
No, I think we're good.
Penny,
we're
roll me
good.
a 20.
5.
Those men that you've seen before in the blue are here again, actually. You see them in the crowd. They're not looking at you or anything. They're kind of look like they're antsy, like they're trying to decide if they want to stick around or not.
I point them out to my new friends.
Okay.
Okay. Interesting.
Do you think maybe if you can't do anything to help my kitty, can I have her back?
I give the kitty back.
Yes.
Reluctantly.
She kind of petting her.
Yeah. We would like to help your kitty. And
are
we'll.
you a doctor too?
I'm not a doctor, but I'm going to help Yarrow find out what's going on. Because I think other kitties are sick as well.
She looks over at you, Penny. Her eyes get really big, excited. Did you hear that? The nice lady, the not killer lady, said that we're going to go on an adventure together.
I think we should take Princess Pansy home before we go on an adventure. It would be very dangerous for her. Adventures are dangerous.
Well, yeah, but you said that adventures were good and they were kind and they help people too, though. And
but we need
you to help people too.
We need you to stay here and take care of the kitties.
Wait a second.
Yeah, someone has to protect them.
Wait a second. She kind of sets her jaw a little bit. I see what's going on here. She looks over at Penny. You see what they're doing? They're gonna try and kidnap Prince Pansy.
Okay, here's the plan. You take Princess Pansy and you hide her.
You're speaking totally in Gnomish, which both of you understand at this point.
Right.
That's perfectly okay.
Yeah.
So you take Princess Pansy and you hide her in the greenhouse behind the invisible pine melon. And you protect her.
Won't they be able to see her?
No, you'll be hidden behind the invisible thing, and you will become sort of invisible too.
You are hearing this whole conversation. They're talking about invisible pine melons, and they sound like they're absolutely insane.
You have an interesting life here.
The little girl is probably the one that seems the sanest to you of the two of them. Penny, she's okay. Well, I'll hide her. But when are you coming home?
I'll come home as soon as I figure out what's wrong with Princess Pansy and all the other kittens in town.
Are you going to take her?
Who?
Princess Pansy. How are you going to make her better if she's at home, hiding behind an invisible pine melon?
No. I'll figure out what's happening to all the kittens. Because if someone's trying to kidnap them...
Arisa, please roll me a 20. Okay. All right. Did you see what's happening? Did you see? I think he grew another 3 inches the other day.
I rolled a 10.
Okay, yeah, what'd you roll?
Me?
Yeah.
9.
Okay. Both of you are listening to this conversation. They're talking about this gigantic pine melon. All right? And something occurs to you the way that they're talking about it. She keeps saying, she said the word giant at least 7 times during this conversation. And in the way that things just all of a sudden connect for you, giant melon. Where do melons come from? Soil. What's another word for soil?
Is Riddle here with me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you also see this.
Riddle, by the way, is sitting on top of the bar. He's minding his own business, got his eyes on everybody, just kind of watching silently.
Okay, I look at Riddle.
He lights off the thing and lands right here. Princess Pansy looks really excited to see him.
Does Riddle seem to acknowledge this repetition of
yes, when you lands on the shoulder, it looks at you in the eye, and you just have that feeling that yes, this is part of it.
Okay, so this weird happened whilst I was walking through the marshes. I was coming to the free city of Greyhawk from the mountains where I used to live, and this crow perched on my shoulder and spoke in the voice of a man, and he spoke a riddle, and I'm starting to think that this is what he spoke of.
What was the riddle?
So what he said was, in a city of 13, in the shadows of 3, the foe of the wild mother stirs, woken by fools that do not know what they disturb. Seek out the giant birthed from her loam, then the kingdom of her second children. There your path to its door will be evident. Beware the golden sigil. Beware that which should not sleep anymore.
Aricia and
yes.
Penny, both of you roll me a 20.
Okay.
That's a 2.
I rolled a 19.
Okay. Aricia, you're too new to the city to know this, but Penny, who has been born and raised here, Penny, there's something interesting about the free city of Greyhawk. That as she was telling you about about her riddle, Greyhawk is surrounded by, on its walls, 13 towers support its walls, and it was named for the great castle Greyhawk itself, which is on the hill overlooking it, which has 3 towers.
Interesting.
Okay.
So I don't think this is.
I don't get it. Where's the riddle? Yeah.
I know it doesn't rhyme. It's a silly riddle. Riddles should rhyme. Everyone knows that.
Right. So what's the riddle exactly? Or is the bird the riddle? I don't get it.
Well, some things take longer to understand, but I don't think this is coincidence, Yarrow. I met a fortune teller a few days ago here at this inn, and I allowed her, just for fun, to read my palm, and she said to me,
the little girl's holding up her hand with 5 and 1.
She read to me. She said to me, "Where the fantastic and deadly gather, the path to Anya Illustril's fate begins. The giant born from the loam of the world will show you the way." That sounds a lot like the giant in your riddle.
Yeah, that's too weird to be a coincidence.
I told you they were going to try and steal Prince Pansy. I'm 51 years old. Is that long enough to understand these things?
Well, it's old enough for you to maybe show us this giant melon.
No way. You're
going to steal it.
I'm never going to tell you about Prince Pansy.
We promise we will not steal it. We are not thieves.
Only if she helps my kitty. She points at you, Yarrow. If you can help my kitty, I'll tell you.
I will do my best, and I don't really like melons, so you don't have anything to fear from me.
It's not just a melon; it's a pine melon.
Mm-hmm. And it's the biggest pine melon the free city of Greyhawk's ever seen.
Where did it come from? Where did this melon come from?
She looks over at Penny. It was from this lucky seed packet I bought down the road.
Yeah, you put seeds in the ground, and then you water them, and you water them some more, and again, and again, and again, and after that, boom! A pine melon.
So who sold you these seeds?
Just some human. I don't know his name.
What did he look like?
Excuse me, ladies. You hear a voice behind you.
Oh.
It's
Hello?
one of the three men in these outfits. I couldn't help but overhear your conversation. Looks over at you. Because my name is Ricard, he says. Not to be confused with the owner of this establishment. You seem to know a little bit about what's going on here, or you think you do. And I can look at your necklace right over there. Looks over at you, Yara. I can tell you're a nature priestess.
Are you looking for one?
I'm not, but my boss is. And if you'll give us about half hour of your time, we might be able to help you with a little bit of maybe information that might help you.
Information regarding?
What you were looking at outside about 10 minutes ago before you came in here.
I look
Kind
at
of smirks a little
Aricia.
bit.
You want me to come with you on
I
this
want all
talk?
three of you to come with me. Except the little girl. She can't come. Well, you know what? You can bring her if you want.
Well, I have half an hour.
Of course you have half an hour. You have as long as you want. Listen, he says, all I want you to do is talk to my boss. No strings attached. But there's money talking.
Who's your
Penny,
boss?
When he says money, it's almost like music to your ears. I'm not at liberty to say. He puts up his shirt so you can see it. On it is a badge of what looks like a circus tent, almost. Penny, make me a 20-sider.
16.
You have seen this circus tent before, and that's the advantage of having a really high intelligence. That was a terrible roll, and you still made it.
Yay!
You have seen this before. That actually is not far from here in the High Quarter. That tent is inside of this walled... this manor has a big wall around it in the Free City. One of the rich nobles lives there, and he's got like 15 or 16 of these circus tents in there. The guy's name is Lord Henway. Lord Henway is the owner of Greyhawk's only zoo. He calls it his menagerie. People are allowed, all the time, he lets people in to marvel at the things in his zoo, which are generally won for him by adventurers from all over the Flanness. He's got a chimera, he's got a manticore, he's got all kinds of fantastic creatures that people marvel at. However, you also know that the zoo shut down abruptly for the season about 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay, mister. So, we can go to meet your top secret boss whom I don't know at all and who totally doesn't have the zoo.
Right.
So, yeah, we can go to see him, but first we have to walk by my house to make sure that Perry makes home safely.
Looks over at his guys. He says, boys, he goes, get the carriage ready. We're taking a pit stop on the way back to the boss's. You ever been in a carriage before? Looks at you and smiles.
A real carriage?
A real carriage with real horses.
Like the ones the pretty ladies sit inside?
When you say that, he kind of looks over at Arisa a little bit. He gives a little smirk. He says, pretty ladies. He looks back at you and says, oh yeah, exactly that kind.
And I can be a pretty lady too?
You can sit right on top with me. You and your little sister can sit right... And Princess... what? Prince... Holds up the cat. Again. Yeah, you guys can sit up with me. No problem.
That's amazing!
Do I get a good feeling about
He
this
doesn't
guy?
seem like a bad guy, Yarrow. Roll me a 20, though.
11.
He seems very professional to you. The thing you notice about him is that his sword at his side, there is a peace knot around the top of it. It's not like he could draw it very quickly.
So it's almost for show.
Yeah, it's almost more for show, as a deterrent more than anything.
Okay, all right.
And you don't see any articles on him that imply to you that he might be a spellcaster of any kind.
Okay. Yeah, I think if we're going to get to the bottom of this, we need to follow where the clues are leading.
Come with me. I got some good stuff to show you. He comes outside. And as he leads you guys outside, there is a carriage out there, a big wooden carriage. It's got lanterns at the front of it. It's beautiful, like it came out of a fairy tale, Penny. His two guys are sitting up at the top. Yarrow, the guy, holds open the door for you and lets you go first. Holds it open for Lady Arisa.
I can open my own door.
No offense. No offense. No offense intended. Sorry about that, ma'am. Just human culture that's... never mind, I'm talking too much. Opens the door for Yarrow for the carriage. There's nobody in the carriage.
Okay.
I walk in.
How you guys all get in the carriage? Penny, are you going to sit on top or are you going to go inside?
We're sitting on top to see the city from the highest possible point.
It's really wild, actually, being higher than 3 feet off the ground. They actually help you guys up onto the on top of the carriage, and you ride for about maybe 10 minutes of a ride. The free city of Greyhawk at night is bustling. It's a very busy place, and it takes on almost a fairy tale quality with the lanterns and the horse footprints. People all kind of scurrying out of your way because this is nobility. It's got the symbols on it and everything. Penny, it's a lifestyle you're not at all used to, or for you, your matter, Yarrow. For you, this is old hat, Lady Arisa. I mean, this is kind of almost like slumming it a bit for you, but for them, this is a very unusual experience. You direct the two drivers to your house and Penny, and what are you going to do from there? You guys inside, you feel the horse stop. You look outside, there's a small hovel of a house. It's part of a city block, but you can see that's been attached to it is a big greenhouse. You can kind of look through the windows, through the steam a little bit, and see shapes in there, but nothing. You can probably see clearly on a lit day, but for right now, it's obscured.
Okay.
Penny,
Penny. So you have to go to the greenhouse and protect our pine melon, okay?
The door opens up to the house. Persimmon is there with her glasses on. You see this very old wizened gnome there. She's kind of spindled over and has a stick. Penny Merriweather, are you going to be out all night again at the bar, carousing? What's all this? What's all this?
No, Granny.
Her walking cane starts tapping at the sides of the carriage. Oh, I thought this was one of your tricks. This is real.
Yes, I'm a beautiful lady today, Granny, and an adventurer. And I'm going to save all the kittens in the town.
You smell like pine melon wine.
It almost killed me. And I didn't even try to drink it.
She was a good girl. She was a good girl, Granny. I was there with her. Did you say you took your sister to the inn? Your sweet little sister?
That's only because we were looking for a doctor. But we found a doctor. But she says that she doesn't know what's wrong with the kitten. So we have to search on.
If your mother finds out that kitten's even in our household, there's going to be problems.
But she won't find out, will she, Granny? I smile my most charming smile.
Don't stop. Just stop. You know I can't. Just go. Go off with your new friends and your rich, fancy carriage.
I will save all the kittens. I promise you, Betty. Adventure awaits.
Bye, sissy. Bye, sissy. She waves. Carriage starts up again. Are you going to ride with your friends this time or on top?
I'm going to join my friends.
Okay, you're inside now. That was quite a spectacle, Yarrow and Arisa, but you're on your way again. The rest of the ride takes a grand total of 5 to 7 minutes, uninterrupted. The carriage pulls up in front of Penny. You recognize this is Lord Henway's manor. They open the door for you, and they open the inner gates for you. And what you see inside of there is all these walls, Yarrow, around the manor. They've large, tall, like 10-foot walls, stone walls, are all covered with ivy, and they're exactly the same. They've got that black presence inside of them, something rotten going on with them. And as you walk in through the gates, you see all these great rotundas in there that are exactly like the symbol that was on the man's breast, but all of them are covered in burlap. Okay, inside of all of them, you hear these growlings or different sounds of monsters or who knows what kind of creatures. But Yarrow, they don't sound like they're very healthy.
I turn to my new friends and I tell them the issue with the ivy outside the inn, I can feel the exact same thing here. And I'm not getting a good feeling coming from these tents either.
Yeah, that makes me think.
Over that's walking you there, he goes, listen, if you need to look inside of it, I can show you one that's safe. Before we talk to my boss.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to pick one, if you don't mind.
No, I don't mind at all. He goes, is there any kind of monster you want to see in particular?
All of them!
He kind of reaches over, kind of runs his hand through over your hat a couple times, smiles, goes, when we open up again, you can see all of them. He leads you over to one of them in particular. Yarrow, did you answer him? What kind of monster you want to see?
No, I just want to get a random one just to minimize the chance of him showing me something, selective that he wants to show me.
He walks up to one of the rotundas, and you walk right past that one so that you don't get the one that he wanted to show you. Just to play into that whole thing, and he follows you over. He goes, "Oh, okay, yeah, this one will work too." He goes, "There's a pair of mated pegasi in there." He goes, "You want to see them?"
Yeah.
Pretty safe. He looks over. He goes, "Listen." He goes, "The foal is kind of ill right now, so she's away from the mother. They're kind of antsy, but I don't think they're gonna give you any problems." He opens up the gate. Go ahead on in. Oh, hold on. Reaches over and reaches into his pocket, pulls out a small stone that's covered up in a in like a leather coating. Pulls up the leather coating a little bit, and light streams out of it. He hands it to you, Yarrow.
What's this for?
Oh, he goes, that rock's got continual light cast on it. He goes, the boss gives it to us so we can see. If you need to, in case you need to shine it somewhere and see something in particular. Just thought you might want to use it.
I walk in. What do I see?
Penny, are you going to follow her?
I am, yes.
On the ground in the middle of the tent, curled up, is a large white horse. Majestic, beautiful white horse. It kind of has its head turned to you, and there's another one next to it. It's kind of nuzzled in, almost half asleep. They would look just like beautiful white horses if it were not for these majestic, sweeping, beautiful white feathers, feathered wings that they have on their backs, that they have curled up tight to them. They both kind of look at you. Yarrow, right away, the male, who is the one that is kind of more upright than the female, you can see something in the quality of its blue eyes that makes you think that it's sick.
Okay, I'm going to approach and
The man walks in. You hear him follow you in and close the gate behind you. All of you.
Okay. I'm going to approach the horse, put a hand on his head, and ask, "How are you?"
Okay. Are you casting the spell?
I just want to get like
Okay.
almost an emotional feeling. Yeah.
Arisa, you notice the man that is with you, next to you. He's undoing the peace knot on his sword.
I turn to him. Is everything okay?
Well, yeah, I just want to make sure in case something happens with your friend that I can protect.
Well, what? Oh, okay. I mean, has anything happened recently?
No, but you never know. I mean, they're wild animals. They're monsters.
Okay.
Just got.
Can I ask you, when did they start becoming ill?
These two, the boss said to cover up the tent about, I don't know, 10 days ago maybe. Yarrow, the thing kind of just puts its head tired against your hand, just kind of resting against your hand. Feels like he's got a fever. Penny, these are such beautiful animals. It almost makes you want to cry to see them so sad and so tired. Risa, he says, yeah, about 10 days ago. He goes, but it didn't start with them. He goes, it started with the Chimera, actually. He goes, it's the weirdest thing. He goes, the one head seemed fine, the other head seemed fine, but the one, all of a sudden, it was like he lost his voice, the lion head.
So it didn't happen all at once, though.
No, it's happening, bit by bit. But then the displacer beasts went, and I think, what happened next? I think the Firebird went next. I can't remember.
Did you say that the lion head lost its voice?
Yeah. It was a weird.
Just the lion head.
He says, I could hear the, you could hear the dragon roar. You could hear the goat. It was, doing its thing, but it was like the lion head got sick first.
I turn to my friends and I say, lions, cats. I think we're onto something here.
Yes, definitely.
What's going on here?
Have you noticed that in the city, the cats have lost?
Kitten? You think that that's linked to this? He kind of shrugs his shoulders. He goes, I guess I've heard of weirder things. You need to talk to the boss, though. He goes, I'm just a hired sword. He goes, this is not my forte at all. You seen everything you need to see?
Is there anything that I have in terms of spells that could help heal the animals?
Cure wounds might, but you get the sensation that by pumping life into them of any kind, it will just get sucked right through whatever connection is pulling the life out of them.
Okay, there's something deeper.
Yeah, something is. Yeah, you'd be throwing good money after bad, essentially. So, what are you going to tell them? Are you done looking?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, he goes, leads you out of there. Locks up the gate and everything. Pretty sad to watch. He goes, I used to watch Lord Henway. He has some buddies of his that help them find these, and they go flying every day. Because Pegasi, I guess they don't like to be cooped up. They like to be able to spread their wings and fly. So Lord Henway lets them go out. Everybody gets to ooh and ah about the Pegasi, but now being sick, we haven't been able to let them out. I think it's kind of bugging them.
Yeah.
How does your boss generally treat these creatures?
Oh, Lord Henway, he treats them better than he treats me. He laughs a little bit. He goes, you have to understand Lord Henway. He's a little weird. But he's rich. He's real rich. And he thinks that it's good for the people of Greyhawk to be able to see things that, out there in the world that they would never be able to otherwise see, so they can get a better appreciation for nature and for, that these animals, they're just trying to survive in the wild, and they don't mean harm. They're just trying to live.
And if you don't mind me asking, how does he procure these creatures?
He pays people like you to go get them.
Hmm.
Actually, to tell you the truth, he goes, I first came to this job because I wanted to go monster hunting for Lord Henway, but I didn't really have the skill set. Lord Henway's big on not hurting monsters, and my training is all military because I used to be a captain in the Furiandian Guard, and that's not really what I do. I could bring something down, but I couldn't catch it alive. But he was nice enough to give me a job.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good guy. He's just a little weird.
All right. Well, let's go have a chat with him.
Yeah, come on. I'll show you. He goes, don't feel like you have to be somebody you're not. Lord Henway's a really good guy. He's just he's really excitable when you talk monsters with him. So he leads you in through the front door. There's lights. There's lanterns everywhere. You smell burning candles as you walk in. Right away, in the first room inside of the place, which is opulently decorated. There's rich red carpeting there, portraits hanging on the walls. There's a portly man that's kind of balding. He's got a very rich blue outfit on. He looks at him. You found somebody, Ricard. Finally! He goes, yeah. He goes, I'd like to introduce you to my to the lord of the household. This is Lord Henway. Lord Henway, these three ladies, I think, are going to be able to help you with your with our problem. Oh, thank the gods. He looks at you. Please, come with me. We'll have to sit. We'll have to talk all of this out. It's very important that you know everything that's going on here. But first, what are your names exactly?
I take a step forward and I say, Yarrow. And I shake his hand.
He shakes your hand back. He has this way of shaking his hand, both hands, same time. He's a little bit overweight. Lord Henway of Greyhawk. And you, milady.
Lord Henway, I'm Arisa. It's nice to meet you.
Lady Arisa, aren't you? He kind of looks at you askance.
I can neither confirm nor deny that statement. But please, just call me Arisa.
Of course. I understand the need to be circumspect. He gets down on one knee, Penny, and you, milady.
I'm Penny Merriweather, and I point out my hand as if to let him kiss it, just like proper ladies do.
He kisses it like a proper gentleman. He says, "Your hat looks very beautiful tonight, Lady Penny." Kisses you.
Thank you.
Please follow me into the sitting room. We'll talk. We'll talk about this. You're just in time, I think, because the condition of the animals is degrading quickly. He looks at the three of you. Ricard, did you tell them anything? Yeah, boss. I took them to see the Pegasus. What is it? Pegasuses? Pegasi. Please, just leave us be for a moment. Ladies have seen enough swords for the day, I'm sure. It was a pleasure meeting you three. He nods, walks away. He's a good man. He's a war veteran from Furiati. Hero, he says. Sits down at this table with the three of you. Looks at the three of you and takes a deep breath. Well, now all of you know. There's problems.
Yes. Lord Henway, can I ask, was there anything that preceded this? That happened in the days before you started noticing problems?
Yes. I have a nature priest that comes on retainer. And he's a good, relatively good man. His name is Darian. Darian started acting strangely. He said something was blackened inside of the bushes. Darian left and he said he was going to get to the bottom of it. I haven't seen him since. This was about 2 weeks ago, I'd say. Right when the first of the animals, the Chimera, took ill. He says, I want to tell you something very important. I'm not without resources. I paid some good coin to do my own investigation. what I've learned, he says, is that the epicenter of all this, my seers told me that it comes from an old woman's house named Mildred Slade, who lives down the street from here. Now, if Mildred Slade was an old spinster, her house is very unkept. People don't see her very often. She just kind of disappears for long periods of time. Not exactly sure what's happened. But my men have been sending them out to find some heroes to try and take care of this, but it can't just be anyone. It has to be people that I feel good about. This is too important. My animals, their health's at stake. I'm willing to pay each one of you 500 gold to get to the bottom. Penny, that could almost buy your house. Ready to pay each one of you 500 gold to get to the bottom of this. Give you a map, show you where the old lady lived. Perhaps you can solve this problem for once and for all.
So why do you think this old lady is involved?
Only because my seers told me so. They said that they gave me a bunch of riddles about an obelisk or something, saying that we had to get to the root of the problem. They kept using the word root.
Did my grandmother maybe mention that lady ever? I mean, my grandmother is ancient.
Yeah, your grandmother actually remember. She told you always stay away from her because she's weird and she smelled bad.
That seems like useful information.
Yeah, she said she smelled like old cheese, and that is usually the smell of someone that's not a very good person, she said. But then again, your grandmother says a lot of weird stuff like that.
What do you mean weird? That seems perfectly reliable.
And we don't know where this old lady is now.
No, but as I said, I can show you the house.
Okay.
You're professionals, I assume. He looks at the three of you. I don't know what venturing company you represent, but I would be very happy to give you the map and leave you to do what you do best.
I think we are freelancers.
Yes. I'm not really concerned about the money, but I would like to get to the bottom of this.
That's okay, I can take your money.
He looks at you, he smiles. He says, believe me, he says, if you can help my animals recover by getting to the bottom of this, money won't be a problem for any of you.
I have one more question.
Of course.
Once we cure the Pegasi, could I maybe watch them fly?
I'll make you a deal, Penny Merriweather, he says, getting down on his knee again. He says, I'll let you ride one.
Penny is speechless, and I think she just forgot how to breathe.
Will you guys go to the follow the map to the location?
Yes.
You leave Lord Henway's presence. Say goodbye to Ricard at the front. Ricard actually takes the three of you to the house. It is the only house in the entire garden quarter that is run down. The windows are all broken in it. The weeds all around the place are about 3 feet high. As soon as you get through the front gate, which is hanging on one side of it, you hear stuff scurrying around inside of the bushes. It is a single floor residence. The front door is kind of threadbare. There are steps that lead up to it.
Mm-hmm. Do I sense any magic going on here at all?
The sense of magic is extremely strong here.
Okay.
Does the place seem to have been abandoned for quite a long time? Are there signs of activity?
Yes, it does seem to have been abandoned for a very long time.
Okay, all right.
So, who will be the first one to go through the gate to walk up towards the house? Or will you not walk up towards the house?
Well, actually, first, I think I would like to cast Protection from Evil.
Okay, on yourself or one of your comrades?
On myself.
Okay. You cast Yarrow, you see her use one of the newer elvish rites. It's not a very old one, befitting her age, of course. She has a gentle glow around her like that of the moon when it's full for just a moment, and then it fades back away.
And I'm also going to take my quarterstaff out, and I'll be the first one to walk through the door since I might have a small bit of protection.
Okay. Yarrow, as you walk out of the carriage, Riddle alights on your shoulder. You have no idea where he was at, what he was doing. His alights on your shoulder again. He does that.
Does he say anything?
No, he just kind of looks at you with those
seem calm.
Dead black eyes for a moment, and then just watches Aricia walk through the front door. Aricia, you hear the wind rushing through the weeds. This is a square of a house. The door is barely hanging on. What are you going to do?
So I'm standing just inside now.
Penny, make me a 20-sider.
That's a 1. Is it very good or very bad?
That's exactly what you wanted to roll. You can hear in the weeds, you can hear the rats talking to themselves. Because Penny, in first edition, gnomes can speak burrowing mammal.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear the rats talking to each other. Do you think she's got food? You think she's... I hope she doesn't let the cats out. Just hide until she comes back. Maybe she'll drop something. Recently, you get to the front door. You couldn't hear any of that.
No. Can I see anything though inside?
Yeah, you can kind of look through the cracks of the door. You see just an old dusty house that looks like it should have been on an episode of Hoarders. There's all kinds of garbage and trash inside of that. It smells musty. There's garbage piled on top of garbage. Has a terrible smell inside of there. There's a sense of decay and an extremely strong smell of cat urine.
Oh goodness. Okay. Turn to Yarrow. I think we might have a cat problem here.
I smell the room and I nod.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get about maybe 15 feet from that door and you can smell it.
Yeah. So I'm going to open this door, but prepare yourselves.
Penny, Yarrow, and Aricia, please roll me a 20. It's not a saving throw, don't worry.
I rolled a 1.
Never mind, that's what you want to roll.
11.
Aricia, it also occurs to you, looking at the house, that you could also inspect all the way around the house if you wanted to. There might be more entrances than one.
Okay, yes, I would like to do that. Let's take a little walk around the premises.
Penny,
I rolled a 17.
Yarrow, or are you going to stay where you want to be? Or at the front?
I'd like to have a look around as well, just to get the sense of the perimeter.
What you do is you walk around the house, and this is what you see. If you guys are following along on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
You see my map right over there. That's the front door. There's a window over here as you go forward. And it goes down the way. This is the side of the house, the outer wall. Those are windows.
Okay.
Those little squares. And it goes all the way to the back to where you see a set of storm doors leading to a basement.
Ah.
Arisa, the magic that you're feeling, is it coming from below ground or above ground? Oh my gosh,
is it potent there. Penny, this whole time you've been hearing the sounds of rats and voles and whatever. There is nothing around this storm doors.
Okay. I would like to go back to where I had the rats, take out a cookie that I took from my house before I left, kneel on the ground, put the cookie next to me and say, "Hello, my little friends. Could I maybe ask you some questions?"
You guys are watching this and you hear Penny. She kind of is wriggling her nose and chittering a little bit. Yarrow, you've seen this before. gnomes the ability to speak to burrowing mammals. One of the rats comes out and starts to sniff it. Be careful, it could be poison. Doesn't smell like poison.
It's not poison. I can eat it if you don't want it.
You want to know You want to know something. What do you want to know?
I want to know where the lady who...
Cats? You're not going to try and eat us, are you?
No, I'm not.
Then why do you smell like a cat?
Everything smells like a cat around this house.
Fair.
Thank you. So I was
wondering... He starts eating the cookie.
Could you maybe tell me
where the lady... poison. You don't want any of it. Starts eating it.
Where the lady who lives in the house is?
Oh, she's dead.
What do you mean dead?
Did
you kill her?
See her? I can show you where she is.
You can tell me where she is. Why did she die?
Oh, I don't know.
Did someone kill her?
I was there when it happened.
What happened?
Well, the man came in the room and he was very angry and he put his hands around her neck and he squeezed until you heard a crunch and I ran. And then he dragged her into this room. And that's where she is now. But there's not much left to eat and it smells really bad in there.
I won't eat her. Can you tell me what did the man look like?
You go in there. There's cats everywhere.
Okay, I will. Thank you. And can you tell me, how did the man look like?
He was... Maybe if you stood on your own shoulders, he was that tall.
Uh-huh.
He had hair like your friends over there. He looks over to Reese's. And he smelled like dirt.
Okay. And thank you, Mr. Rat. Do you maybe know what's underneath the house?
Don't go there. Don't go there. It's really dangerous. Whatever is underneath there is killed. That used to be where we lived, and it killed at least 50 of us.
What killed you?
The darkness. It killed like 50 of us. It comes over you, and it swoops over you, and when it passes by you, you're dead. I was one of the lucky ones to live. I'm smart.
You're
I told you don't want any of this cookie.
You're a very brave rat, Mr. Rat.
I'm not going
When did the darkness arrive? Was it there all the time? You said you used to live there, so no. When did it happen?
I don't know when it happened.
How many...
You people are interested in things I don't understand.
How many meals have you eaten since then?
Thinks about it. More than I have toes.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Rat. You've been a great help.
If you live, bring back more cookies.
Okay, I will do that. I get up and share the information that I've gathered with my friends.
Okay.
You guys are standing outside the storm door still.
Okay.
Do you think that this man could have been the nature priest that the Lord sent here?
That's what I wonder too.
I mean, smelling like dirt.
Yeah,
I'm also wondering
that yourself once or twice by people who don't understand.
Yeah.
I'm also wondering though, if he was investigating things and he went into the storm cellar, it's possible he never came out.
Penny, make me a 20-sider.
That's another one.
You guys roll so good right now. I can't wait till combat comes and you guys have to start rolling high. Anyway, let's not get it twisted, all right? You're an illusionist, you're a spellcaster, but you've got a couple other skills as well. And one of those skills gives you a little bit of insight to areas, things that you tend to notice right away. The first thing that you notice is the padlock and the chain that's on the storm door. All right? That implies to you that can really only be fixed from the outside. It's likely that he never came through this door.
Okay.
But you also notice that there's no rust on the lock. It's been put here recently.
Okay.
Are there any sounds coming from?
Not a thing.
Nothing.
In fact, it's too quiet. Unnaturally quiet.
Yeah.
Well, the rats did talk about cats being trapped down there, didn't they?
They did mention cats.
Mm-hmm.
And we wouldn't hear them if they were there.
That's right. That's right. I think we need to investigate this. We need to break this lock.
Okay. Penny, it occurs to you that breaking a lock is so vulgar. There's so many ways to get around a lock.
Yes. So let's try to be a little more subtle.
Arisa is going over there with her sword. How are you gonna approach this situation?
No, if you do that, the evil Dirtman will know we were here. Let me handle this, okay?
Okay. Go right ahead.
Penny,
I kneel next to the lock and try to open it.
roll me percentile dice, please,
Yes.
and tell me what you got.
65.
You see Penny, she pulls out these tools out of her mane of hair, out of her braids. She's got one stuffed down through one of the braids, got another one back through the hair. She is actually you've seen some thieves operate before. She's actually way better at this than you would expect. She's got one in her teeth and she's working on the lock. Finally, click. Lock opens.
You can
And
go
she
first.
looks so innocent.
She looks so innocent, yes. But oh no, you've just learned something about your new friend.
You can go first, though, because you have a big sword.
All right. The first thing I want to do, though, I know that we have sensed something dark, especially coming from this region, but is there anything about the door that I should be worried about? Do I sense any magic?
It doesn't
literally,
seem like it's anything unusual about the door.
Okay. All right.
Well, I take that back. You do see something that strikes you about the door as you get closer. The door was obviously very weathered and broken in places. Someone has reinforced it from the inside. They put new wood underneath the old one, so nothing can get in or out. The weather can't get in or out.
Okay. All right. Well, I turn to my party and I say, okay, here we go. And I slowly open the door.
Let me tell you how much it tickles an old school dungeon master like myself that the magic user is leading the party into battle. Oh, it does my heart such good.
We're all magic users, though.
Break those stereotypes there, girl.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So you open the door, and inside, as you open it, you smell must, dirt, age, a little bit of rot. Stairs descend into darkness.
Okay. Do I hear anything?
Oh, you're not a thing.
Yeah. Okay.
No, not even the house settling.
Okay.
It's almost like whatever's down here, it's almost like if you didn't know better, you'd think it would lead to a completely different place.
Okay. Now
I still have that stone that the guard gave me. I hand it to Lady Arisa and ask her, do you think this could help? To shed some light down there?
Yes, I think that is a good idea, especially before we step over the threshold.
Lady Arisa, you take the stone. Are you going to uncover it?
I am going to uncover it and hold it out towards the stairs.
The second
shiny.
you do that, the instant you do that, you hear something in the basement hiss painfully as soon as you shine that light down there.
Oh.
And then it kind of stops suddenly.
Okay.
You didn't hear motion at all. Just that sound stopped.
Okay. But I still have the light is still shining.
Yes.
Okay.
It was enough to make you almost jump with it. The suddenness of it.
Can I see anything down the stairs?
Yes. This is what you see as you go down, as you shine the light down the stairs. You see an area that is about 30 foot by 20 foot, as you see. You're going down this storm door into this area. Along the wall to your left, which is on the map, would be the right. There's a large rack full of old canned goods. There's a similar rack on the south wall, which is the one in front of you.
Okay.
And there's a big area rug in the middle of the room. There is a looming darkness that is just up the stairway that leads away from that into the greater part of the house.
Okay. Okay. But I don't see any body.
No, you don't see anybody at all.
There's no motion.
No motion, no obvious doors.
Okay.
No anything. Just the stairway that leads up into the house.
Okay. All right. I turn to Yarrow and Penny. Are you ladies ready?
I nod.
Okay.
I pull out my dagger.
Okay, you pull out your dagger.
Yeah, I've still got my quarterstaff.
Is actually a gardening spade.
All right, I've got my quarterstaff out, and I'm going to start walking down the stairs.
Aricia has her staff, and you're walking downstairs. You still have the light brandished, I assume?
Yes.
You're walking down the stairs into the room. Penny, Yarrow, and Aricia, roll me a 6-sided dice, please.
Okay.
6.
2.
As soon as I ask you guys to roll that, now you're rolling high. Unbelievable. Yarrow, you found it. But first, Aricia, you need to know this. Aricia, as you walk in there and you're shining the light around, you shine it towards the corner where the canned goods are for a moment. On the wall where the canned goods are, there are several of them that are labeled different things. One says sugar, one says cinnamon, another says salt. Big letters over there. And then you scan back with the stone. As soon as you scan back, the shadows seem like they have encroached close to you. They recoil suddenly into the distance, up the stairs and away from you.
Ah. Okay.
Yarrow, as you follow her into the room, something on the floor in the rug feels weird to you.
Can I inspect it?
Okay, you kind of inspect it. There's a hollow space underneath it. There's a trap door underneath the rug.
Okay, I signal this to the others. Say,
Penny,
do we want to
being a
check this?
gnome and knowing underground areas like you do, as soon as she mentions it, you're aware of it right away.
Can I say how deep it goes and how big it is?
It's opened, but once it's open, you'd be able to know right away.
Mm-hmm.
But then,
so it's definitely a door, like a man-made door.
It is definitely a man-made door.
Yeah.
It feels like wood through the rug, but it's impossible to tell until you move the rug.
Okay.
Arisa, you're playing games with the light just to see what happens. You kind of move it a little bit. You move back, and you see the shadows had come closer to down the stairs. The second you push it back, it pushes the shadows back.
Okay. Okay. Does Yarrow and Penny, did they see this happening with the shadows?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And Yarrow, the sense of something sick is down here. The world is sick down here.
I think
like
we should.
Outside these walls, you can just feel the natural world is deconstructing around you.
I think we should do what we need to do here and get out as quickly as we can.
This is a bad place.
Yeah, I'm going to try to continue to keep the shadows at bay.
Okay, you're holding at bay with the light.
with the light, and I turn to Penny. Penny, do you want to pull this rug aside so we can see this door?
Sure, but could we maybe make the darkness go outside? I mean, if you push it with your light and maybe we light some fires, like torches or something, we could make it crawl outside and die in the sunlight. I push aside the rug.
Okay, you're pulling aside the rug. As you pull aside the rug, you see right away the trap door. It's wood that's there. It's really not all that well hidden. It would have been very well hidden to a human. But because I wrote this scenario before I knew that you guys would all pick demi-humans, you guys picked it out right away.
Right.
Yeah.
So is the sun shining outside right now?
No, it's dark.
No,
Dark
it's
outside.
not.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm afraid if we push this darkness outside, we'll be setting it free.
Yes.
Okay, so we will have to come back here in the morning and do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's going to go? Penny, as you open up the door, or actually, I take that back. Are you going to check for traps or anything on the door?
Yes, of course. I mean, there's
Considering
this
how
moving
well it
darkness
was
creature.
hidden. Yeah.
Hey, you never know. Gotta ask. Make me a percentage dice, please. You know, gnomes are very unpredictable. You may do something strange.
54.
54. It is untrapped and it is unlocked. When
Okay.
you open it up, there is a ladder affixed to
Okay.
the shaft that goes down. The shaft that goes down is it's very strange. It's obviously not dug by tools, but it's not straight either. It's not naturally occurring, but it wasn't dug by tools. It's very weird to you how it could have possibly been made. But the ladder is affixed into the wall, and it leads straight down into darkness. You're guessing maybe 70 feet.
Okay, one more question. The door, if it was to be locked, would it be locked from the inside or
No,
the outside?
It would be locked from the underside.
Okay. So someone could
There
lock
is a
themselves
catch to it.
inside.
You open up the trap door, you see it. There is a catch there. It just wasn't locked.
Okay.
By the way, one other thing that you notice, this is very, very new. Probably maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks old. It fits perfectly with the timeline of everything that's been happening.
Right.
Who's going to go first?
Who has the light? I can take the light.
The problem is, the light, as soon as you let it go, that shadow is probably going to follow you.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I'm thinking, Penny or Yarrow needs to go first so that I can keep that shadow at bay as we all move down.
How well does infravision work?
Infravision will see heat sources.
Okay.
You could not see that shadow before because it has no heat.
Okay, I see.
So it's going to work on living things, but if you saw undead, for example, not going to help you.
I think I'm gonna start going down.
Yarrow is? Okay. Yarrow, as you go down there, walking down a ladder for an old elf like you is hard at the best of times. But going down 70 foot of it, your creaky old bones protest the entire way down to the bottom of it. But at the same time, you are a woman of the mountains originally, so ascending and descending natural areas is not uncommon to you. And as you're thinking about the mountains, that's when it strikes you exactly how this was made. Someone cast the spell Stone Shape repeatedly, and probably, you're guessing, to get this shaft down here, they must have cast at least 50 times to go this far. So
it must have been someone very powerful.
Yes, probably a pretty powerful priest, or had scrolls or something. You finally reach the bottom of the shaft, and when you do, you find yourself, that T that you see there on the middle of the map was the trap door, okay, that you came down. Okay? It comes out of the cave ceiling, and the ladder extends down to the floor of an irregularly shaped cavern. There are exits to the northeast, the southeast, and the southwest. The walls and floor of this place are completely jacketed in moss. Thick carpet of moss. This moss right away, Yarrow, is the most... It's alive, but in the way that undead are alive. It is sick. It is tortured and racked. It is heartbreaking for someone that is in touch with the natural world like you to behold. Just knowing what whatever force is doing to this living thing it's utterly tragic.
Can I inspect the moss? Are you going to
close the door behind you as you go down the ladder?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Are you locking it or not?
I'm not going to lock it.
Okay. As you go down the ladder, nothing pursues you.
Okay.
You've reached the floor with everyone else. Penny, as a thief, knowing you can move silently, that ability is going to be extremely enhanced in an area like this.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you know. But that also means
Thanks.
that whatever walks around here with you may also have the same advantage.
Mm-hmm.
There is no light around here, around you. All you can see is what you can see with infravision at this point, which extends generally about 30 feet, so you can see this entire cavern and what's on the map, but nothing more. Okay. Ladies, where would you like to go first?
I'd like to inspect the moss and see if this darkness seems to come from a specific place, yes. If it's affecting the moss in a specific way.
Yes. It seems to you as if whatever is siphoning it. Yarrow, a lot of people with this would miss this, but because of your background as a nature priest, you know, for example, moss will grow on the side of a tree that experiences sun. And the way the wind works, you can tell, for example, exactly where the prevailing wind is just by the way something will grow. You can tell that whatever is siphoning the life out of this exists to the southwest of you.
Okay, I turn to my companions and say, southwest, Arisa, I think.
Not only do you sense magic down there,
mm-hmm.
but your aura that you have right now of protection from evil is pushing against it even from here.
Oh, wow.
Whatever is down there is so evil that it's almost pushing against your field right now.
Okay. Yeah, that is definitely the direction we need to go.
Okay. Yarrow, I need at this point in time, since Yarrow has sort of been leading you in a sense, Yarrow, I'm going to elect you as the party leader at this point officially. Please tell me what the marching order of your group as you go down the corridor will be. Who goes first, second, and third?
I'm happy to go first.
Okay. Who's next? Who's next?
Is Yarrow picking?
Yeah, Yarrow's
picking. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I thought you would pick.
No.
Just, you decide who wants to go second.
Okay, who's going to go second?
I can go second.
Yeah, and I'll take up the back, the end.
Are you using the stone to navigate, or are you just using infravision? Note that the stone will make you very visible to other things, but infravision may not reveal everything.
Yeah, I'm going to hand the stone back to Yarrow and let her make that decision.
Yarrow, what are you going to do?
Well, based on the guidance that I can get from analyzing the moss, I'll put the stone back into its leather pouch and just follow my senses.
Okay.
Can we hear anything?
What's that, Penny?
Can we hear anything?
Make me a percentage dice.
14.
Yes, you can, actually. And as a matter of fact, right away as you begin to go down before you even start to move down the corridor, you hear what sounds like a panting noise to the northwest. It sounds to you like Like a dog, maybe? Something big, though. Likewise, you hear something to the southwest. It sounds sort of like it was only very brief. It was something like the sound of something walking that stopped.
Okay.
It was gone.
The southwest is the direction we are going, and the panting noise is coming.
Southeast is where she heard that from.
Southeast.
Sorry,
okay.
if that wasn't clear.
Okay.
Yarrow, you lead them down there using just your senses to walk. I need you and Aricia to roll me a 6-sider. Penny, I need you to roll me percentage.
Okay.
That's 5.
4.
Okay.
And 73.
All right. Yeah, you guys are silent as the grave as you walk down the hallway. And as you walk down through this weird catacombs, Penny, you get Yarrow is right about at the bend of this as it leads forward. And you realize that there's something ahead of her, something on the ground that she doesn't see.
I catch her robe.
Yarrow, you feel
and
that.
Pull.
What have you sensed, Penny?
Are you guys going to be speaking aloud to one another?
I'm very much whispering at this point.
Very much whispering. Penny?
I try to make sense of what I've sensed.
You get down on the ground very close and kind of feel at the ground. The moss is covering something, a very thin part of... It's a deadfall. There's a trap in the middle of the floor. A pit trap.
I point towards the wall and try to show them that we have to go very close to the...
Yes, and it's easy to circumvent if you know what you're looking for. Yarrow, you go ahead and you circumvent the pit trap with Penny's guidance until you find yourself walking forward and in a large cavern. Inside of this cavern, in the very center of it, you see it visually before you see it with your infravision. It is a large obelisk, maybe about 15 feet tall, 3-sided. It comes almost like a very slender pyramid, like a cenotaph. It's dead black with this awful, sickly green kind of glowing patterns running through it. Near the top on each of its face is a dark black sigil that seems to suck the light out of the air, or the very essence out of the air around it. The sigil is in the pattern of a spiral that leads all the way down into
Okay, I turn back to my companions and I whisper, the riddle, it said, beware the golden sigil, beware that which should sleep evermore. I think we just found the sigils.
Yeah. And I think it must be awake. And that is why all of this is happening. We need to put it to sleep.
Yarrow, make me a 20, please.
1.
You guys and your die rolls. This is the greatest die rolling session in the history.
Oh yeah, but I have no idea if this is actually good or bad. So.
You look.
This is why it works.
Well, what I was doing was a knowledge check for religion for you. Because you're a priestess, you recognize that sigil, that holy symbol, right away. That is the symbol of a particular god. The god's name is Thurisdan. He is the god of darkness, decay, entropy, and madness. So apparently, he was so dangerous that even the evil gods conspired against him to see him imprisoned, because with his release would have doomed the entire universe. He is entropy personified. He would have just decayed everything. And as you think about it, looking at this sigil and seeing what you see around you, what you look at, you realize that what you're seeing is a pump. It's a life force pump. It is sucking out the nature around it and is empowering something. It's like an engine. Penny, make me a percentage die.
Yes. That's a 1.
Okay. Go with it, I guess. So on the wall, right between there, you see this area where these two caverns unite? There's a secret door in the union there between the two.
Okay.
Yarrow, you see this, and you see this. Thurisdan in the World of Greyhawk is the very worst thing it could possibly be. He is the boogeyman of boogeymen.
Mm-hmm.
It seems so weird to find an obelisk to such an evil deity under the house of an old spinster. I don't know what's happening here.
Yes.
Are we directly underneath the house right now, or how far did we go? Okay.
Okay.
What do you do?
So do the rest of us know about the secret door?
No, Penny is just looking at that wall, the cavern wall, and she seems very intrigued by it.
Okay.
Unless you
okay.
want to
Penny,
tell
do
them
you
about
see
it.
anything?
Yes, of course I share the information. I mean,
Okay. Just want to make sure.
thank
Some
you,
party
but
members don't like to cooperate. You tell them about the secret door. Which, by the way, you also determined is not trapped or locked.
Mhm.
Thanks to the fact you rolled a 1. Go figure. So anyway.
And do I hear anything from behind the door?
Yeah. That sound that you heard before that sounded like something was walking.
Yeah, the walking person, I thought so.
Yeah. It sounds like it's pacing.
Yeah, I think that is possibly the source of the problem here.
The problem is, I don't know how to put this to sleep. If this is actually awake.
Well, I'm wondering if whoever is on the other side of this door, if we put them to sleep, maybe it will disrupt the pump. That's my theory.
Riddle looks very uncomfortable in the presence of this thing.
Do we try to surprise the person on the other side? I mean, someone can walk back and go through the corridor and say hi to them. And when they do that, the other ones could jump through the secret door and do like, haha, we've been here all along. You weren't expecting us.
Or I could cast invisibility on myself and go through the door and then cast sleep.
Okay, that makes sense too.
I mean, I could send Riddle to distract the person.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know how much danger I would be putting him in.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to cast invisibility, I think. Let's try this. I'm going to approach the door. I'm going to cast invisibility and go through with the intention of casting sleep on whoever is on the other side
Penny
of this.
and Yarrow, you see Arisa wink out of existence.
Just like my pine melon.
Oh, that's the quote of the game so far. Okay, so are you going to open the door, Arisa?
Yes, I am.
Realize that when you open the secret door, regardless of you being invisible, they will see the secret door open.
Yeah, I'm going to inch it open first and kind of peek inside and see where this figure is. What are they doing?
You see when you open the door, kind of poke your head in through, you see some figure about human-sized in the back corner of the room, which looks a little like this. It's a little bit larger of a cavern. The back corner of the room, which is the southwest corner of it. He's about 50 feet away from you, but there's something looming in the middle of the room. It's about the size of I don't know, maybe a mountain lion, but it's made out of pure darkness, pacing around in there.
Oh, great.
The man hasn't seen you. It looks like he's sitting cross-legged in the corner of the room. He's got a staff in his hand. He looks like he's doing something on the ground, like carving something.
Okay. Have Yarrow and Penny, they see that I've cracked the door open a little bit.
Yes, they see you've cracked the door.
Okay. If I whisper and get their attention, kind of, come over here. I'm trying to quietly get their attention so that they too can just kind of peek around the corner and see what's happening. Okay. I'm hoping that maybe Yarrow will understand where I'm going with this, because I may need some assistance.
Okay. Arisa, you go over there, and Yarrow, you and Penny are aware of her presence.
Okay, I very slowly peek through the door.
You see exactly what Arisa saw ahead there. That thing, however, you are able to, because you experience so much of Earth's nature, it is a mountain lion. An undead mountain lion made out of shadow.
Okay. Do we see what the man is carving?
He's carving that sigil that was on the top of the... Yeah. And as you look down, it looks like whatever he's using to carve it, it traces gold right behind it.
Okay, that's the golden sigil.
Okay. So I whisper to Yarrow, I'm going to go in and put him to sleep. You bring the light. And that's all I say, and I'm going through the door.
Okay.
Quietly, kind of just creeping over so that I can be in the correct distance to cast this spell on him.
Okay. You get in there, Arisa. You get in a little bit closer, and then you cast your spell. As soon as you cast your spell, you wink back into existence. This shadowy-looking creature rears back and glares at you. The man looks up confused. And, Penny, what you see is the man takes his staff, roars, and then falls backwards, slumped unconscious against the wall because I just rolled a 3 on his saving throw. Yarrow, you at the same time see this creature rush towards Arisa. This darkness. It moves faster than any mountain lion should possibly move as it roars towards her.
I take out the stone and point it towards the creature.
Roll me a 20 for your attack. This is where you want to go high.
12.
The light bursts over its head past it, and it kind of slithers around it as it goes towards Arisa. Penny, it's your turn. What are you going to do?
I would like to... Color spray also has something to do with light, right? It's not just pretty colors, it's lights, actually. So I would like to cast a color spray at the mountain lion and the thing.
Arisa, this is what you see. The mountain lion rears, it starts to leap at you. The burst of light goes over its head. Penny kind of rolls into the room, puts her hands out, and this kaleidoscopic cone of color explodes out of her hands and bathes over this creature. It roars out in pain and agony. Just kind of seems like it shudders for a second, almost like shuddering between existence and non-existence for a moment. But it still retains its solidity. But it looks totally stunned. Your turn, Arisa. What are you going to do?
I'm going to attack with my quarterstaff.
Okay. Make me a 20.
All right. I rolled a 2.
Okay, you hit it where you think you hit it, but it's so insubstantial, it just kind of goes right through the wisps of the thing. Yarrow, your turn.
I'm going to cast Protection from Evil on myself.
Okay. Again, the glow comes over you, but this is ancient nature force just rolling through you. You feel like the world is wrapping its arms around you and protecting you like a mother would her child. Penny, your turn.
Okay, so I would like to cast Improved Phantasmal Force and summon a Pegasus, since I've just actually seen one. And I would like it to look like it's attacking from the, air from the ceiling.
Okay. Arisa, Yarrow, you actually see this thing come out of the ceiling, this majestic Pegasus come from out of the ceiling and start attacking the mountain lion. The mountain lion doesn't know what to do. It looks confused in the middle of the ground. It's trying to swipe at it. You notice it is making no noise whatsoever. It's the weirdest thing. Every one of its movements make no sound. But it swipes at this thing and it's attacking it. The Pegasus is just staying out of range. Arisa, your turn.
Quick question. My familiar.
What's that?
My familiar, Stella.
Yes.
Does she have an attack?
She does. You haven't asked her to do anything yet.
I haven't. But now is the time.
Okay.
I'm hoping that, this little ball of light can help me fight back this darkness.
You see Arisa as she opens up her cloak a little bit. This little star mote kind of wisps out of it, kind of spirals around her head one time, and she says something in this ancient elven tongue to it. Spears towards this dark form and starts to glow brightly. The thing roars in pain, shocked back, and it keeps darting past it. It doesn't know what to do between the Pegasus and the and this mode of light. Yarrow, it's your turn. You've got a pre-open shot. What are you going to do?
I'm going to cast Bless on my companions.
Okay. Go ahead. You cast Bless. As Yarrow casts her spell, produces the divine the mistletoe from that, uses the kind of this bit of almost like sand, puts it in her palm and blows it out towards you. And as it comes out, it turns into rose petals and monarch butterflies, this storm of them that wrap around you, and you just feel this protective force of nature around you. Watching Yarrow as she brings the natural world into existence is amazing. It's just like she's actually using the force of the world itself to keep your enemies at bay. Penny, your turn.
Yes, it is. How quickly does the potion of plant growth work? So I can take some seeds from my bag, throw it at the creature or beneath the creature, and then throw my potion of plant growth.
Okay. What seeds are you going to throw?
Some vines would be nice so that it can get entrapped.
What kind of plant grows on vines? Pine melons. You throw your seeds out there, and these massive pine melon vines start exploding out of the ground, ripping right through the shadow creature, just impaling it basically on there. And as it kind of lowers its head, this gigantic melon drops off of one of the vines, boom, and hits the ground, rolls on the ground. Your Pegasus disappears.
Damn it.
The man is asleep in the corner. What will you do? Yarrow?
Can we see if we can gather any more information about this man? Do we get any sense of why he's here?
It's easy to rifle through his belongings. You learn that this man, his name is Darian Eagleheart. He actually did work at one point in time for Lord Henway. However, he was just there to learn information about his animals. His plan is that he was a druid that had gone insane at one point in time. You read through his journals, and he had gone to the worship of Tharzadin. And what his intention was to do was to use the natural world, because it connects to all living things, pull energy through it to empower himself and his own spells, at which point in time he was going to destroy everything in existence. This obelisk, as you read this, is actually really fragile. It's almost like it's made out of a stone that's almost like glass. It would be easy to shatter.
Okay.
But this is who this man was.
Okay.
And what will you do?
I would like to start by taking my maybe blessed, maybe cursed, maybe just normal shovel, digging up some dirt and trying to destroy the symbol that he carved in the ground. Am I correct?
Yes.
It was.
As
So
you
I would like
carve
to
into it, you almost hear this keening wail in the ground. And as you do it, Yarrow, you see that black roots kind of disappear a little bit in that area.
It's blessed.
So I think we found the source of the evil here.
Yeah.
Yarrow, what will you do now?
I'm going back into the other room to see if I can shatter the obelisk using my quote stuff.
Arisa, Penny, you see the old elvish woman. She looks so frail, like she could break any time. She takes her staff, rears back, and hits it. And when it hits it, it just shatters into a million pieces forth. Looks like these little pieces of shadow that go forth. And as they tumble through the air like millions of pieces of a broken mirror, all of them turn kind of rainbowy for a moment. And when they fall to the ground begins to grow greener. The black begins to recede and disappear. Everything goes green in the room. Everything starts to become more healthy.
Nice.
Yarrow, Aricia, and Penny, you guys go back to Lord Henway's when this whole thing is over. Lord Henway's overjoyed. He tells the three of you that he knew that you'd been successful because a half hour ago, the Chimera started to roar in hunger. The Displacer beasts started to purr in their chambers. He couldn't possibly be any happier. And as a result, he gives each of you a certificate for 1,000 gold to be redeemed at the city's treasury. Throughout the streets of Greyhawk, you can hear the sounds of yowling at the moon from the cats. Penny, you see when you go home, the princess has her voice back.
I told you I would save all the kittens.
All of you, when the new day reigns on the free city of Greyhawk, the city doesn't realize it, but it's been saved from a horrible fate. And you've gained, all of you, some new friends. The smallest of them you happen to see flying through the air on the back of a white Pegasus, because Lord Henway always keeps his promises. And that is the scenario, guys. Congratulations, you did a great job.
Thank you.
Yay!
That was
This was great.
And I'm going to give each one of you guys a copy of the module now that we're done. I'm glad that you guys, I hope you guys really enjoyed it. You guys were great players. That was the most awesome display of die rolling I've ever seen.
Well, this was a lot of fun. Thank you so much.
You guys got through that and missed all the bad stuff. Because of your way you played that and getting the rock. Well, first of all, you didn't go through the front door. That means that the shadows that were there, that were cats that had been killed and turned into shadows, you didn't get to see those. You didn't go to see the old woman that was stuffed in the chamber pot, who is now a white. Missed that.
Wow.
You guys managed to keep at bay the slow shadow, which is such a nasty monster. You managed to keep that at bay. And when you got to the bottom, because you all were quiet and Penny managed to find the trap there that was going to alert everybody, you attacked them from surprise, and you also missed the yellow musk creepers and zombies that were up in the north, to the northeast. So you guys did an awesome job of circumventing all the bad stuff, really. But as you guys get your copies of the module, you'll find out There's some horrible, horrible stuff.
I'm looking forward to reading those.
Oh, thank you so much, guys.
Yeah.
Before we go, because I know some of you have places to be and people to see, I'm going to throw up a graphic very quickly. And this is what is up next for all of our viewers out there. There's the next show that will be following us is Dream Binding, Talking Books and Magic with Jana Heiserdorf, Emily Hare, our own Natasha, Colette C.J.
Yeah.
Ellis, and Iris Compiet. There's 3 of those artists I know personally, and they are amazing, amazing artists. You really want to hear what they have to say. Go visit them on youtube.com/user/Chicante, as you see over there. And please, all of you that are watching, don't forget to support your favorite changelings by visiting the Changeling-Con Artist Alley. You can visit the Artist Alley at that tiny URL that I have there on the bottom, which I'm going to leave up after we go live for the evening. And remember, if you guys like the way that the ladies play today, feel free to buy some of their stuff, support them. I mean, this is, they're not only will you get great art out of it, but you'll know that you're supporting the art community and helping this world be a little bit safer and more tameable place at a time where everybody's, we could all use a little bit of art and beauty in our lives. And that's really what this whole module was about, was everything is dark right now in the world, okay? But heroes can bring light to it if they with a concerted effort. And with that, I'd like to say farewell to my 3 players, Natasha, Amanda, Janka. You guys were amazing. And I'll everybody that watched us and supported us, thank you very much for watching the module. And I'm going to sign off. If you'll stay on Zoom for just one more second after we sign off, so I can say my goodbyes to you.
Yep.
Please do so. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.